Welcome to Parkbench Tutors. For more information you can find us at parkbenchtutors.com or you can look us up on Facebook. In this podcast we're going to continue looking at business documents, and we're going to look at some of the documents associated with cash transactions. So we better start by defining what we mean by a cash sale. Well, whenever money is received for goods or services at the time of the transaction, that's what we call the cash sale. So sales at supermarkets and most retail shops are in fact cash sales. Right, the supplier issues a receipt for the goods or the services to the customer. So the receipt is the appropriate document we're looking at. So what should a receipt show? It should have a reference number on it somewhere, the date, who the receipt is from, who it's to, some detail of the goods or services, and the total received. Now, we're not saying every receipt will have all that information. Most of them will have that information, and some will go into considerable detail. Here, for example, is a typical receipt. This one shows who it's from, who the money's received from. It shows the detail, the sprays, carnations, plants. It shows how the money was paid as well, paid by cheque. And it shows the total, £122.63. So here's another receipt. In this case, what should be the total? We have two items, carnation bunches, sprays for the wedding, one at £36, one at £339. So what should be the total on the receipt? Now, very small purchases usually are done through petty cash vouchers rather than sales orders, and these are in fact then purchases made with cash. So Pam's Pots uses petty cash vouchers for that purpose, and in this case postage stamps have been purchased, 20 for a total of £15. You can see in this case there's a system whereby someone makes a request, it has to be authorised by a second person, and then paid out by a third person, the petty cashier. Right, here's an example of another till receipt from a store. Now if you look at this one, it says who it's from, the Aldi stores. It gives you quite a bit of detail, and it gives you the price of each item as well as the quantity of each item. It adds on the total. It tells you that this was a card sale, and it gives you the information that there were there were some items that were VAT exempt and two items that were not VAT exempt. So quite a bit of information on that receipt. In fact, down at the bottom line it also gives you the date and even the time. Till receipts very often show lots of information like that. And as I said, it was a card sale. How was the payment made? By the card sale. Here's another receipt. This one doesn't show quite as much information. It does show who it's from, it doesn't show who it was to, and it indicates it was a cash sale, and it indicates the detail of the meal, it indicates the date and the time as well. That's the end of this session then on receipts as documents for cash sales. Thank you for watching and for listening. We wish you success in your studies. This podcast was brought to you by Parkbench Tutors, narrated by David Hopcroft. For more information, find us on Facebook, or you can look us up at parkbenchtutors.com.